Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Freedman, and our next guest up is a true entrepreneur, Guillermo Garcia, CEO of SmartHop. Welcome to Radio Entrepreneurs.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
So really exciting. Your company does some really interesting stuff in the trucking industry. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what SmartHop does and how you founded the company?
Yeah, we are in the logistics. I've been in logistics for many years. So decided to found a company to help myself, but also the tens of thousands of small trucking companies out there. SmartHop is a business in a box platform for small trucking companies to empower them with all the tools and the resources that they need to be successful. So what that means is our customers, the small trucking companies, will run all their business on top of our technology rails. We book their loads, we make the relationship with the brokers that they need. We help them when they are over the road with not only booking the load, but also their back office, invoicing, check calls, all those tasks that will take a lot of time out of their hands when they are supposed to be focusing on driving and maintaining their trucks. We do it all for them. And as we move forward, we bring the economies of scale that at one time I didn't have when I was a small trucking companies like them. Think about the things that they use to operate: insurance, lease, fuel. They're just too small to have any leverage, but to pay retail rates across the board. And just to put you in context, over 90% of the trucking companies in the US have less than 6 trucks. So across the board, mom and pop corporations, and those are the businesses and the entrepreneurs that we want to help.
So, wow, really fascinating. You've given us a great explanation, and that's really a mouthful. So to put it in context, you were really providing end-to-end solutions for independent trucking companies. And those end-to-end solutions include everything from logistics to purchasing power and scale. And it sounds like illuminating a lot of things that probably were very manual tasks for them until you guys came along.
Yeah, definitely. And not so long ago, I was one of them. Short story, I'm originally from Venezuela, started my first trucking company down there, grew that, and was lucky enough to grow that company into an almost 500 employee trucking company. Fast forward, 2012, came to the US, did a program in New York at Columbia University, and then that led me into relocating to the US, start a very traditional asset-based trucking company in South Florida. Unfortunately, nobody was there to tell me that not to base an over-the-road trucking company in South Florida. There's a lot of freight that goes down to South Florida. Nothing gets generated, or a few things get generated in South Florida. So you'll lose a lot of money going out of South Florida. So
there's only so many oranges. There's only so many oranges that can move out of Florida, right?
It's a dead end. I mean, how in your healthy mind you can think that you are going to base an over-the-road trucking company on a dead end, right? I mean, there's only one way to go out. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. I had to learn the hard way, right? And so founded that company, was also bootstrap that company into 50 trucks on my balance sheet. But I understood that I didn't want to build another trucking company, another asset-based trucking company, but instead giving the economies of scale and the technology to those small owner-operators and trucking companies that are really trying to make it on their own, right? And when you're so small, what leverage do you have to negotiate fuel? Fuel is about 24% of your cost structure, and you have one truck. You don't have any leverage, but you're competing with companies that have thousands of trucks and they pay wholesale. They self-insure their fleets, right? And so that's really why we wanted to say, okay, so let us help with all those things that are not specifically core to what truckers like, which is being on the road, driving their trucks and maintaining their trucks. The rest, we're a one-stop shop for them.
Now, so your journey to developing the company, your background is obviously core in the industry, but you don't have the, or perhaps you do, the technical background. It sounds like your platform has a lot of technology built into it, and it's a technology-based platform. So tell us about that road for you.
Not at all. And definitely, I'm not the smart guy in our company. And that's why I decided to invite my now co founder, technical co founder, who has been developing apps and technology for many, many years. Miguel had a development shop that successfully sold. And when I came to Miguel, which, by the way, he from my beginnings, he developed apps for my companies in Venezuela, but also here in the US. So it was my first call. I shared with him the opportunity. This is a very ambitious project, technology wise, right? We are automating the decision making process of a dispatcher, of a human, when choosing a broker, a load, and a price, right? I mean, think about when a truck is in Atlanta, the way that today truckers do is that they will go out and find brokers and loads to decide where to send your truck. So those trucks will spend 2 or 3 weeks at a time throughout the continental US, picking and delivering loads, right? And so you have to choose from 15,000 active brokers, millions of loads available. So there's really no computing power that they use for them to make their own decisions. So it's a very complex and ambitious project that definitely I needed to have a co-founder, a technical co-founder, to help me build what I had in my mind, but definitely couldn't code.
So tell us about the business model. Is it a subscription-based model wherein the end user, the trucking company, the independent operators are paying a subscription fee to belong to your platform? Is that how it works?
No, we decided to align the incentives with our customers and do it on a transactional model, right? So every time that our technology books a load for our customers, we charge a commission on their gross receipts, right? So that incentivizes us as a company to do better, to help them be on the road, to have the results on the most profitable outcome that they could get. And so with that, they get the all-in dispatching and back office product all. And then when you think about fuel, when you think about lease, insurance, those are extra fees on the top line that we take and for our customers.
So very interesting. You built a model that doesn't have you in conflict, and it's a very low entry and barrier for your customers. They essentially, if they don't make any money, you don't make any money, and so interesting.
Right, and all our thought around this is think about that owner operator, the guy or the girl that owns a truck, drives the truck, and it's on their own, right? And so when you're back taking some days for vacations, or when you're back to be resting right at home, a week, 2 weeks, why should you be paying for cargo insurance? Your truck is not moving anything, but still legacy insurance is on a yearly premium. Why should you be paying for a subscription those 2 weeks that you're out if you're not booking any loads, right? And so, again, as you said it, spot on. If you're moving your truck, if you're earning money, we are there with you. If you're not, we're there with you as well. We understand that you shouldn't be having those costs because trucking is a very hard industry, right? Very thin margins. Anything that you do wrong, you're out of business. So we need to stay very aligned to our customers. And we understand that because we come from experiences where I couldn't pay my insurance. I had to call the lease institution to say, hey, give me 2 additional weeks because I don't have any cash in the bank to pay you. So we really understand that.
Now, fascinating that that you were in the industry. You identified sort of a macro problem that the industry. I mean, true entrepreneur, right? You identified an issue that that the entire industry is plagued by, and developed a solution to address that. So, what is the growth? How long has the company had its product in the field? How long have you? How long ago did you launch?
Yeah, we're excited to tell you that in February, so next month, we're going to have our full year launch. So we launch in February of 2020.
Great
Uh,
timing, right at the midst of
Great
the
timing, right?
pandemic, right?
Why not? I mean, just before COVID hit. So what else? So yeah, it's going to be a year of our product being out there.
Well, really probably an interesting time also because, all those issues that you talked about even heightened in the midst of the pandemic. Obviously companies needing to pivot, needing to be more efficient in terms of what they're doing. And as we all probably take for granted, goods and services move that final mile. The bulk of goods and services move those final miles via trucks. And obviously over the road, long haul truckers, et cetera, which is probably the core of your business, even more so. So, really critical to keeping the economy going and doing it efficiently are those independent trucking companies.
Yeah, and think about when COVID hit last year, what we were able to do with uncertainty. Nobody knew what was happening, right? I mean, now we know, and now we look back and we know. But take back to March and April of 2020, right? We had trucks that needed to move loads to Washington State, to New York. I mean, nobody really knew what was going there, and then you had some truckers that they love what they do, but they were scared, right? And so, really navigating that uncertainty of the peak of March and April, and then a slowdown and closing of restaurants and stores, April, May. So I'm a true believer that things happen for a reason. And if we were expected to launch in February, it was because people needed our services and our product out there. And we grew really well. I mean, for us, COVID, not only on our growth, but also on what we were able to do for our customers. I mean, I'm so glad that we launched pre-COVID, because now looking back, we can say, yeah, we helped a bunch of people in the toughest time of maybe our century. I don't know.
Yeah, we're certainly in our lifetimes. That's a fabulous story. Guillermo, it's great to have you on. Great to learn about your company and your lessons that you've learned as an entrepreneur. Love to have you back on again and talk about either some case studies or some examples, and it would be fabulous to share those stories as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Love your show, and I would love to be back with you sometime soon.
Excellent. Our guest is Guillermo Garcia, CEO of SmartHop. Guillermo, if people want to get in touch with you, either learn more about your business or to sign up, what's the best way for them to reach out for you?
Best way is to go to our site, smarthop.co. You have all the information there, how to contact us. That's the best way to reach out.
Excellent. Our guest again has been Guillermo Garcia, CEO of SmartHop, an innovative company helping the over the road trucking industry, and sounds like you guys are doing some wonderful things. It's been a pleasure having you on Radio Entrepreneurs.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be right back with another segment on Radio Entrepreneurs.